Fillmore County, one part of a tragic story involving a car crashing into an Amish buggy and killing 2 children has now come to a close.
Yeah, this woman, Sarah Beth Petersen, originally told police she had been driving that car that day. But as that investigation continued, Sarah admitted she lied and switched places with her twin sister, Samantha Petersen. Tonight, a judge handed Sarah her sentence, just 90 days in jail and 120 days of house arrest.
ABC 6 News reporter Chandler Jackson joins us live now from outside the county courthouse. And Chandler, we understand the parents of those 2 children were there in court today. What did they have to say?
Yeah, Robin, Maisie, it was a message of faith and acceptance, but not necessarily one of forgiveness, as the family asked the judge to remember the price that has been paid for Sarah Petersen's actions.
The Miller statement was read by an advocate of the court, unrecorded, per the wishes of the family. In it, the parents of Irma and Wilma Miller leaned heavily on their faith, saying God always has a plan, and that to move on we have to accept what happened to our daughters. However, the message also held words that showed the extent of the consequences of the Petersen twins' actions, which the Millers are still dealing with today. A younger son, terrified of getting back in a buggy.
He's bearing those scars not only physically but emotionally for the rest of his life.
An older daughter, blaming herself for what happened.
She was age 13. She was the one that was driving it. Feels responsible for her siblings. She was the one that was driving. She was the one that was responsible.
Sarah Petersen also spoke to the court.
I'd also like to apologize to the Fillmore County Sheriff's Department and law enforcement for my deceitful behavior. I know they were just trying to give the family answers, and I hindered the investigation and made it worse than it already was.
And to the Millers directly.
While I understand that my apology cannot ease your grief, I hope that it conveys the deep regret that I feel. I will carry the responsibility of my actions for the rest of my life, and I wish with all my heart that I could undo the loss and grief that you have experienced.
In the end, the judge leaving Sarah Petersen with one final thought.
I mean, you continue to choose to make that immoral and illegal decision. But at some point, this has to end.
Sarah Petersen will now spend at least 60 days in jail, followed by the house arrest and up to 4 years of probation, all with an almost 3-year prison sentence hanging over her head the entire time. Her sister, Samantha Petersen, is set to appear in court again in June. In Preston, Chandler Jackson, ABC 6 News.
Yeah, and Chandler, you just mentioned Samantha Petersen's court dates coming up this summer. Is there any inclination that Sarah, her twin sister, will be testifying in her trial if that does come to a trial?
I spoke to Sarah's defense attorney, Dan McIntosh, about this following the hearing today, and he said that as long as she is subpoenaed for the upcoming trial, if that takes place, she is prepared to testify truthfully and honestly as the law requires her to.